Hey, how you doing, Aquarius? So let's get into your reading, shall we? This is another reading. Don't forget to check out the star signs in your birth chart just to see what resonates. Okay, so what's going on with Aquarius? Doesn't say that you want to be looked into or read, but you do know why at times as well. At times, some of you could be playing mind games, or some of you could be looking into a situation very deeply, or judgment day could be coming for some of you guys, which is why you don't want to be looked at. Also says someone doesn't want to bother you, but they really practice obeah witchcraft or sigil around you, maybe even target you for revenge or war on a spiritual angel, or even something that they're doing around your child. It says you lot are going through war right now, and some of you guys are paying attention to a family member doing this as well. Right now, there could be a friend or a family member that doesn't want to speak to you, does want to know that you're there. However, it says they don't want to speak to you. And it says this woman says she doesn't want to come forward at all. But you will realize 1 week, 1 year later that someone's going to speak about it to a friend or a family member of your own in another way, like there's another family member involved. And it says she knows what she's going to do with this family member too. She doesn't believe that she's really a family member of yours anyway, because she's just the wife of the man that you're sleeping with. It says this woman says she knows that you're not really a wife to him. However, she says you could be sister wives, or you could be a problem to yourself when you realize this man's been cheating or he's been with someone else. And it doesn't say that he really is. Some of you guys are dealing with a narcissistic mindset of yours, playing another female who is in your family to say what they want to say, because your drama is very much open to their head. Like you play with her head and you mess about with it sometimes when she's too inquisitive or too much in your business. It says she realized she's timed anyway to come and speak to you about things. She wants to know things that are going on in her head, because you may be putting spells on her, or a family member is doing this, or a friend or someone around you that is closely connected to your husband or a relative of yours in your family. However, this is not for all of you, so don't take it personal. But it also says right now you've got to realize something is going on behind you. Maybe even with a friend that you didn't know is actually doing some type of karma. And it says some of you guys know that there is a placeholder in your mind for someone else to get some type of bad news. It says warning, this person's never going to go through a bad opening of bad news unless you try really hard to harm her head. And it says some of you have tried this before, and it doesn't say that it's a bad thing, because it helps you to punish the person. But it says it's a very, very bad thing to this person, and they realize why they're not speaking to you. They said they see so many different ways of coming to you or telling you off, but it's not going to work out in your favor if they do something that's going to cause you a problem. Maybe even seeing that they need to tell everybody around you what you're doing, maybe expose you, telling drama queens around you as well, like people that live below you, underneath you, around you, upstairs, or maybe even next door to you or opposite you. It says there's people that wouldn't mind listening to this but wouldn't really want to get involved. However, it says they know they wouldn't mind getting involved if it was going to team up in a way that they probably would have to evict you, because there's two females around you that don't like you. It says one of them is opposite you. She lives very, very close to you, opposite your home. And there is one upstairs above you that does not like you either. She says, I'm tired of listening to your minds about mine. Whatever I'm doing in my home is my home, and I don't want to hear that you're telling me off for whatever it is that I'm doing in my home. Dropping litter, or maybe even telling myself that I've got to come down and pick something up, or maybe even seeing that I do spill water sometimes in your property. Maybe even seeing that sometimes I have problems with you as a personal problem could come to me with my home overheating or flooding. And it says sometimes she realized why it says overheating, because she burns a lot of things, and she may cause fire to your home because she's got fire in her home. Not really in a way that it's going to burn the home down, but she sometimes burns things regularly, and she does it on purpose. But it says she doesn't really do it on purpose. Sometimes she forgets. However, it says it's not going to be easy to look at you or even drive you in the mindset of hers, because she knows that you have female family members or even children that she wouldn't mind seeing sometimes in that way. It says this female above you, she doesn't know who you are really, but she's got troubles with her mental health, and she soon will pick on you again with problems of hers. But it says don't get involved in her mindset, Aquarius. Try to leave her to her own devices and move on, because she's really mad at you for things that you could say to her or maybe trouble your head around hers. And it says caution is there with her, and demon spirits like yours are going to give her bad news. And it says one day you'll realize when the panic is there, she'll expose who she is around you and another neighbor or even people upstairs above her. But she says, I'm warning you, don't talk to me again about anything that I'm doing, because I wouldn't want to speak to you in relation to my property or my home. Because she says she knows she can pick up things in your mind as well about things that you would talk to her about and study her in her head. She knows she's tired of you speaking to her directly in her brain when she says, I know I could harm this woman. And it says your head wouldn't like it at all. You would come upstairs and you'd tell her off. But it says once upon a time it happened, so that's why she's nervous. And there was once upon a time that it happened to the point where she says, I know I'm going to do it again. But she never really did water your home with water again from the first time it happened. And it says she doesn't really want to, but she realized she's got trauma from something that she's doing right now, and it could bring drama to your home. Hence why you'd be out on the street if it happened. And it says it's going to be a leak or some type of velvety kind of substance that she wants to pour down in your mind. And it says not really, because she says she likes to have sex a lot, so she does scream and shout at times when she's doing it, but it's not really your mindset to think about it in that way. And the truth is her family members don't want to come and speak to you directly, but she says I'm filthy at times. I want to murder myself because I can't scream or shout. I can't have sex the way I want to. The neighbors are going to hear me. She also believes that you will trouble her with your family members' mental health too, because you've got kids that will be mind gamed, or they will play her, maybe because they're around her age group, or they trouble their minds to come and see you at times, because she realizes she sees you or speaks to you, but she doesn't see any of your family members come to you that much. But she says, I warn you not to speak to me at all, because I don't want to deal with you. And it says 2 times a mental war will come to you, because she's a neighbor of yours and a friend sometimes, but she doesn't want to talk to you directly. So there's 2 of them. There's one upstairs and there's one downstairs that lives around you or opposite you. This friend doesn't like you very much, the one that lives opposite you or around you. She says she doesn't like you to the point she smells bad news with your husband and your family members. And witchcraft is there heavy. She feels it. She says she doesn't know why your children don't want to visit you, but she knows there's witchcraft and it's very heavy. She says, I can't knock on your door. I don't want to see you, but I have to answer to you when you call me. However, she says she might block you or even pretend that she's blocked you because she has to change her number. But she says she would tell you when she feels like it. But it says it's not going to work out for her at all, because she sees you sometimes coming and going. But she says, I will warn myself to take time and come in and out. Maybe even, not speak about loud things in my head so your daughter can hear, or maybe even seeing things around you and your mindset with your man, because I know they're all into witchcraft or tarot reading or doing divination work. And it says one day at a time, Aquarius, you'll see that these people are no good for your mindset, even the one that you live closely with in your mind right now. It says you have a female daughter, but you don't realize it at times that this person wants to harm your mind. She says she wants to do it on purpose because you've been witchcrafting her, you've been hurting her with people. Right now she feels spirits on her and she knows what it is. And it's a demon mind game to play herself, is what you want to say, because you're not involved in a situation that you feel like he's doing with her. However, it says it's still not good enough for you to speak about it directly to her, because you know he's doing something, but you're not aware of what it is. But it says it's not going to be easy to do these spells and think that it's okay, because you have asked for spells in the past in relation to her, and you've also asked for things that you're not allowed to do to her directly, but you will get punished for even asking of those things. And now we know that he's not going to give you those things to do. He's also looking at the situation with the same wording that you've used to punish her, and has options of the way he could do it to harm her, but he's not telling you. It's mostly for a selfish cause, and he realized he wants to sleep with her, sex her, make love to her mind, but he also wants to make her body feel like it has to be a size 8 or below. So he can punish her with the side eye that he wants to give himself right now. If she was small, I would hit her, punch her, slap her, or kill her. And it says this man has been putting spells on your child for 8 more years in your mind, because it says, do you know this man has got witchcraft, obeah, juju, santeria, or some type of other witchcraft that may not be, mentioned here, but you know what it is. It says this man says he knows you're not trying to speak to him. He knows that you're not going to say anything to him. He knows that you're not trying to say anything because you like what he's doing. You like her being under attack, and you like everything that's going on, because he says you can speak about these things to yourself and he can read it. Like he's reading your spirit, and it's nasty. You want war with your child. You want horrible things to happen to her. But it says even him, he owns part of it, because he's put you under attack with your spells, and he's put you under spell. So you're under spell with him. He's also got things that he can clarify that you're doing in the mindset of yours that would be good to come out aloud and speak about it, even though he would pretend that he can't do it because he's allowed to do it in private, not with you, because he doesn't like your children, your family members, or even friends around you, and even things that are going on with the private affairs of your family, that he can manipulate, curse, or maybe even charm other people's minds to target each other's minds and family members of yours, including your daughter that he stalks daily, heavily, and warlocks on her. And it says she knows she's having a hard time, but it says she doesn't want to speak to him about it directly because she realized he's going to kill himself or harm himself one of these days. And it says no one but bad news is coming to you all about the situation. He knows nothing about the situation. He doesn't want to know, but he doesn't realize there's planets that are cursing him, maybe even going to come and save her. And do not speak about any problems in your mindset today, tomorrow. But it says you've got these problems coming too, because you do not want to listen to why you have to stop looking into the problem with her, or even solve her problem now, or even pay attention to the mindset that she has with you and your person, ideally a partner that you're with, or a boyfriend or a husband. It says these people are the ones that are attacking her. You've put them in her life. And it says it's true, you actually know of this, but you don't want to speak up or come clean. So when she's speaking to you directly about it, she says, do you know that I'm not going to speak to you about your mindset? Do you know I'm just going to allow you to speak about it? And then you'll jump in your mind about what you want to do. Even if you want to jump off the roof, or you want to harm yourself, or you may even kill yourself off of the train that you said you want to ride on, i.e. the man's private parts, his cock. And it says sometimes you may not even speak about it, but he harms you, he hurts you, he sexes you way too hard, and he gives you too much love in a way that it's not love, because you would rather pretend that it's love and see that he has nowhere out of the situation with his mind. It says you're playing a dangerous game, Aquarius. Some of you. And it says some of you guys are going through a bad omen because of this. He may harm you and your children in the next week or two. And it says anytime you see a problem with your father, your mother, or a friend, he's going to target you again to speak up or be quiet. Because he says you were warned not to come to me and my family, but you keep doing that. And it says only your children want to know what's going on with you and your family. But it says it's not really that either, because even the truth is riddled. Your children don't want to know you. However, it says they're knowing that they can't speak of you, they can't even look at you, sleep with your mindset around them, or maybe even say that you've got good news with them. However, it says Aquarius, one day when you see them on the street, or if you pass them by, or laugh if you go to their workplace or their job or somewhere where they live, and then you start trolling them and knock on their door, and then they start punishing you. You know that this could happen, but it says, why keep up the charade with your person putting spells on them, and you're acknowledging that it is happening, but you keep telling them to do it, or you're not stopping the individual from doing these spells. Hence why the person says, I know you should divorce this man or let him go, because I know people would love to see him punished. Says this person's not coming back to speak to you directly about it, but they may show up again in November or maybe October. And it says only because you realize you reach a point of no end, you want to punish this person more and more and more and more and more. However, you do know you're punishing a child of yours with witchcraft. And it says you're punishing the daughter so badly to the point it can't help but to kill her mind off of her dreams or hurt her head around yours, maybe even pay attention to you way too much, looking at her with sore minds of yours, maybe even looking at why she wants to harm you, paying attention to the pain, the suffering, everything that she's going through. And then you realize that you do this on purpose to make her weep and feel jealous of you. However, it could never make her feel jealous. It also makes her feel so sad that you're even doing this as a parent. It makes her feel like you can't come to her and speak about the situation because you're down in your mind about it. But also, you'd rather see her in pain. And it says, no wonder this woman can't speak about it. You all are going down in the next week. It says God has had enough with the wrath that you're putting on this child, to the point November is already come round. It says this November is already here today. You're going to get punishments by Wednesday. And it says even when the retrograde comes in, it's going to be worse. It says these punishments are coming to burden your mind, your heart, your head, and everything is going to be on fire. It says you're going to be burning with jealousy, that you're going to be under attack and she's not, because there's witchcraft that's turning around in her favor to help her or to punish you directly in something that someone else has gotten their mind or their hands on to help her out of the problem. But it says only you would never know how to get your hands on this. And it says even her witchcraft that she's doing to you directly, it doesn't say that she wants to do it, but she has to, because she realized this is a bad omen and it's protecting your daughter, but it's her niece. And it says there's a woman here that knows her niece is in pain. She can see it, she can feel it, she knows that, but she doesn't like it at times because she wants to bully her too. Then she realized she's got to help her out this problem. This is too serious. It's a burden to her family, it's a burden to her brain. She says I can see the brain is going red or raw or really in a problem. And it says also one witchcraft woman that she's dealing with in Jamaica, or even St. Lucia for some of you guys, maybe even Ghana, Gambia, or even another native land like America, or maybe even in the Ivory Coast for some of you guys. It doesn't say anything more than that. It says some of you guys are dealing with bad news from these people as well. And it says one or two of you are from Indonesia, and maybe even the South Isles of Wight, and somewhere in Wales, Scotland possibly, and another place could come into it as well with Ireland. But it says in the Maldives as well. And it says one or two of you are dealing with these problems very badly, but it says not all of you are going to come to your friend and speak to her about it. However, it says you've got to trouble your mind on why do you do this to harm your friend, Aquarius? Everybody is saying, why are you doing that? Even if you know an Aquarius that's doing this, or you don't know of them, but you're hearing through the grapevine that someone around you is up to no good. You could be an Aquarius and there could be another one that's up to no good, and they're doing this to their child or a family member of yours, or a friend of yours, or someone's friend that has a child, or maybe even your friend that has a child. And it says some of you guys are going through bad moods because of this. Even when you don't know the person directly, you can feel the energies, and it says it's bad for Aquarius. People are burdened by the energy. Lots and lots of you are females that are burdened mostly. And it says a lot of you that have female friends that are like this as well. You don't know what to do to tell them to stop. It's like you've been telling them off for years with other things that they do, and they don't listen. So when you want to tell them off now about things that they're doing, you find it hard. It's like it's very easy for you to tell them off directly about things that you feel like they could do, but not as easy about things like witchcraft or other things that they could say no to, because they feel like they've got good news with their mind, or that they're always going to make sure they win over the person, like they've got better news to give themselves. And it says the trouble is you would never know what I had to go through to stop the war in your mind, Aquarius, because you see there's problems with people around you, even with schooling energy around someone. It says that person doesn't have to be in the school system any more than they want to, but you would rather see them there, but in a way that they get hurt. And it says anytime a school wants to try and harm someone or look into them in a bad way, you've got to punish yourself and ask yourself, why me? Or why this person? And then many times over, you're struggling to see good news. But it says, no wonder, Aquarius, you're under oath to speak about it. You've got problems with your friends, family members, the police, even custody battles with your family member's son. Like you've got a family member that has a son and he's trying to warn you, you're going to get burned one day, or you're going to get hardened around the head that you're speaking about because you're laying with someone that's a dog and you're catching fleas. And it says anytime that you realize that you're going to get hard up, Like you feel like you could get even worse with your like bad mentality. Like you feel like you're a fug. Like you just don't know how to stop. Like you're invincible. It says even the person that lives with you, he's trying to tell you, look, I see you, and I've noticed you're like that. Like you just don't give up. You go through things where you can keep harming someone and hurting them. And it says even me, I realize that I should stop doing this because I'm probably not going to be the best person to deal with once I do come out and speak to you. But I've hurt my mum and I've hurt a friend around me already like this, and I realized because I've been troubling you or even seeing how well you cope with things, and I realize I'm imitating you, like I'm mimicking you. But it says this person realized they can't cope, or even the friend, they can't cope either. And it says the trouble is you don't have to hear from this person again, but this person really wants to hear from their parent again, or even the friend as well. And it says this person says they don't know when to stop picking on this person, but even when they've picked on the person's no good. And it says even the mum, she's good enough to be there for his mindset at times when she realizes she's getting things, or she's good to him overall anyway, but she's not always good to him in other things that he needs to support in his mind, like paying off things or doing things. And it says it's judgment because he's a liar, and he realized that when he's playing the mind, because she always talks about these things all the time, and she says if you need anything, I'm always going to be here. All you need to do is talk to me about it. However, he says he feels like he's a man, he can take care of things on his own. So he realized he judges her way too much. He drowned himself around the energy when he got drunk one day and she had to come and rescue him. He says there's no way I'm going to allow her to see me in that problem. But you see, the ego got in the way and it made him harm her mind even more. Like, I'm not going to allow my friends to target you and tell you, look, this is what's happening to me as a drunk person, to the point I can't even move. Like I fell over in my mind about it. Like I could not stop believing how mad I was to allow somebody to look at me in my drunk state where I couldn't move. I was vomiting on myself. I looked really bad. People are telling me, look at your child, look at your child, look at your child. But it says all this anger he took out on his mother. And it says, do you know this mental health war that he puts on her? He's got 10 times of it to give her again. But it says she knows she's not talking to him. And the thing is, she's never going to talk to him again as long as he lives until he fixes up. And if he can't, then she doesn't want to talk to him no more because she can feel bad vibes. And it says these bad vibes are coming from you. And it says every day it could be worse and worse and worse. But she feels it a lot through his soul, through his energy, through the demons that he's carrying in the mind for you. But it says it's also where he plans to put his mind, because he's sleeping around the place in his mental health. He doesn't actually sleep with no one physically, but he realized he wants someone to sleep with, and he's also punishing his mum for this energy too. Do you know there is a son or a daughter around you that seems to be mad at a situation because you seem to have punishments around you in a way that you're harming people, but they don't like you at all. And it says this woman says, I don't know what it is, but I can feel your vibe in a way that is really bad, like it's magical, but it's bad, and it's harming me because I get headaches at times. And I realize there's something going on with you or a family member around me that I don't want to discuss, so I use my name in replace of hers because I'd just rather speak about me. Because what if it is you doing this stuff and not her? But it says, do you know this family member is going to be a stubborn one because she really thinks she's got fish cakes to give you 1 day or 2 days later. Because she says, I know you smelt me before, or you've done things in your mind to make me feel bad. Like I've left my drawers around and you smell them and look how they stink. But it says, you're my mum. You shouldn't be treating me like that in a way that you make me feel shamed or embarrassed of myself. But it says you made her feel so embarrassed one time that you don't even understand it, Aquarius. And it says even right now, she doesn't want to talk about these things, but she realized you should never come to her again in that way, and she could never live with you again. So she realized it's not a bad thing living on her own, but she really hated the way you treated her when you kicked her out. But it says right now she realized she doesn't want to come back, but there's something going on with you that's warning her that you've got problems with your underneath, or it's like you're hurting or you're in pain, or you're smelling bad. And it says she doesn't want to laugh at the situation, but she realized she reads into things with her mind. She can sense things, and she's a tarot reader when she feels like it. She doesn't read into things all the time with tarot cards, but she can sense the energies. Now she's wondering, can she speak to you directly about the situation with your 4-year karma coming in her mind, because she says, I'm going to put spells on you. Now it says this woman doesn't know anything about spells, but she can feel a vibe so badly that she wants to go and use magic. And it says if she tries to use any magic, please wonder why she's starting now, because this woman's never used magic in her life. She's never thought about it before, and she never wanted to harm anyone more than she wanted to harm you. And it says even her sister, she could warn herself to harm her, but she says, no, my mind says do this to you. And do you know you have a family member around you who isn't going to do good when they hear what kind of drugs you're using in October? Because you may have to turn around and start sniffing a little bit just to cope. It says, do you know you've been wondering about these things, Aquarius, and you didn't realize it? Do you know that some of you guys are thinking about injecting things into your veins, or maybe even snorting some things, and you didn't realize that it's going to come into existence in a way where someone will trouble your mind to do it? And it says this man wants you to do it. There's Obia man, this witchcraft man, the one that's going to be doing the witchcraft on your family member, especially your child. He says he's putting this stuff in your mind so you can want to do it. So he says he's going to do it to the point you actually start taking, but it will happen in an effective way in March. But it says it might happen before then, but he's setting the stones for a very good way in. Like, he's putting down intentions, because he says March is a day of his mind to remember. He says he knows what happens with resurrection. These things regularly play out in his mind, how he can use ghosts and demons. He says these spirits, they come in the mindset and they go up and then they start playing in the minds of yours. He says he wants to know which spirit he can get to punish you with it, and he will stop playing around your mindset with your children, because he keeps using your head to harm your child. But it says he's not going to harm this child anymore of yours. He wants to harm you directly, because she's been under attack for so long and it's not making her budge and do anything to come towards you or him. And it says he's never going to have good luck like this if he doesn't get to see this person react in some type of way. But she says she would rather sit down and laugh at the situation, die, or even stay alive, but she would have to kill you all, even in the mindset of hers when she's dead, or stay alive and wonder why you're even doing this, because she's not budging. She says, I know I'm not budging, because I'm not coming to you, I'm not seeing you, but you keep playing with me with witchcraft. Even now I can feel your mental health trying to harm me. But it says the man is putting evil witchcraft on her to the point her head hurts, and she even holds a Bible to her brain. This woman says she doesn't know what it is with the man, what kind of witchcraft he's doing, but it says Gambia gave him some sticks, and these sticks are very potent. These sticks do hold a gem of karma in them with the mindset of the man that's done the witchcraft on them. He knows that he's got problems and he lives in Gambia. This is bad omen. And it says the witchcraft that he's using in this mindset of his with the sticks is very evil and potent. But he uses ghost spirits to target people's head. It says, do not speak about the witchcraft that's coming off of the daughter in the next week, because she has asked for me to place a hold on her mind and stop the witchcraft. I have asked directly to the person that gave him the witchcraft to stop this, and I don't know how to pay you. I wouldn't want to, but I do know this: I'm not going to have you placing a hold on my head. And it says, do you know this man's been holding on to you since the day he got these evil medicines from the man that he saw in the Gambias? However, he says he didn't go there. He went there in his mind with the man, spoke to him directly through spirit. The man said to him, all right, I'm going to call you. And he called him directly and spoke to him. Then he says, I've got something for you. Can you collect it? Ideally in the post. So he posted these things and he got them. But he says he didn't know that they would get him in his mind, because he thought he could have to, beg for them when he got them, because they're going through customs. Like, he didn't know that they could even go through customs. He says he didn't know that they could be posted in the mail, but now he realized he can post anything. So what if he has to post things to your daughter? But it says, do you know that he's going to go down for trouble in his mind if he ever starts doing that? Because the police are going to be involved in a mindset of his. Then he realized he's being troubled in her mind directly, and he's going to jail. So when he starts doing that, he's going to start going to jail in the mind. And then it says directly, because this is bad news. If someone keeps posting you things, you don't know why he's posting you charms and bad sticks and stones and all these different things, and wondering where this person lives directly, because he knows there is a road that she lives on, but it says it's warned you, the mum, to trouble his mind at this because you told him where she lives. Only the road though. And it says you was wrong for this, you should have never done this, but it says only you know why. But it says nope, it's not good enough, Aquarius, you should have never got involved with this man. Hence why you realize you should have never got involved with another female that done something in her mind to target you too about the situation, because you put witchcraft in your mindset about the situation that you wanted to do with a woman back in Ghana. Also in another country, it says you could have done this in England, Ghana, ideally Ireland, some of you guys Scotland, some of you guys Wales, some of you guys in a native Maldives, some of you guys it could have been in America. It doesn't say whereabouts in America, but it also says Indonesia, Isle of Wight for some of you guys, and many other places. And it says there's a woman that knows this as well. She keeps doing witchcraft like that as well. She has close links to you through your mind, because she says she knows how to put spells on you through your mind. Even your husband does the same thing. And she says, I know, because I've got 2 kids with your husband. And she says, I've got 2 children with your husband that doesn't know that my name should have been changed to his last name years ago. But she says she doesn't know why he hasn't done it, because they are going to be communicating things in their head. Like, they know that they shouldn't play around with things, but they're married. Like, they don't know if they can speak to you directly about it, because they have spoken to the laws in their mind about things that they can do, which is have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 husbands. In that country, they can do it. And in certain other countries, they can do it. Not in the United States. So this message in particularly may not be yours. It could be in relation to a woman, though, that could have somebody and you're seeing them. Like, it's a girlfriend type of energy. You could be a wife, they could be a wife. Different strokes for different folks, basically. But it says right now you do understand people are going to punish your mind with things that you did know or you didn't know in the next week. Even the man that doesn't want to do spells right now on your children because he realized he's got to stop at some point, even now, he says, I'm tired, I'm weak, I should trust myself and go to sleep. Your child is still holding a Bible to her head. She feels sad, she feels depressed. She always said that she needed to feel this way away from the mind of yours as well, because she doesn't like seeing you in your mind about it. But she's troubling you to look at yourself through a friend who's also doing spells on her, but she's not doing it directly on her. It says this friend is never going to be your friend, and it says only her aunt is doing spells directly on her to trouble her mind away from yours. But it says only if you knew this. I would have protected you a long time ago, but it says I can't protect you all the time. And it says this woman says, I know that I'm speaking to you directly. Can you see me? Can you hear me? But it says this woman says she doesn't want to speak or say anything because she knows she's got to hold it down with whoever wants to speak to her directly on why they're hiding who they are, because she's spoken to this spirit many times about why they keep hiding, why they're witchcrafting her, why they're doing other things to her, why they're making her think cornucopia is coming in, or why they feel to show her about money or maybe inheritance. And it also says, do you know that you don't speak about these things directly, but you want to know it? And it says her spirit wants to hold on to her and play mind games because she may not give her anything. But at the same time, it says, why do you keep holding on to me? Is it because my mum done witchcraft on you, or she wanted to do something where she could collect your mind around payments, money, or whatever it is? It says, do I not tell you how to speak to me directly as a father figure? And it says, don't play with this woman because she will speak your name out aloud, Ellarine. For some of you guys, it could be Elaine or Alana. I'm hearing Alukazel, Izulu, or Izela. For some of you guys, there is names beginning with an E. Emmanuel is one of them, but it's not Emmanuel. For some of you guys that are dealing with women, it's a very unusual woman's name, like Izela or Azula or Elu. For some of you, Elu, Eloise, Elu. And it says not really you all, but problematic situations could come into the situation as well. Because she says, I don't want to know that you speak to me directly. And hence why I wouldn't want to speak to you directly. I know you know who I am in my mind. But it says, do you know you keep punishing me? Why do you keep punishing me for? Is what the child or the woman that's younger or has this aunt that's doing voodoo on her, punishing her mindset with things that they know they do in the family. Do you know that I punish you and your aunt too? My sister. It says, do you know that you keep looking at me, punishing me, pretending that you're not there, and then looking at me again? I know you're there, but I can't see you directly. And it says you keep hiding and making sure you are marked. But it says every day I've been punishing you for the past 10 years. But it says, why would you want to do that when I'm a child of God? However, it says this woman says she don't know who you are, but she's been to church today. She went out of her way to see blessings come with you and your family members. And it says anytime you see yourself in your mind about the situation, you could have a really bad mood right now. So you may not want to hear that you're under oath to speak about who you are directly, even if your mind says, well, I know who I am. But it doesn't say that you should speak about it directly. It says your children's children are never going to be harmed. However, your children's children are never going to be harmed. And your children's children are never going to be harmed. And your children are never going to be harmed again, because I know why. I'm going to punish all of you. But it says this woman says, I'm tired of you. I've brought into my mind that I should punish you. And it says she's your sister. She says she's tired of punishing you and your family members, and she's fed up of this. So she's going to punish everyone that's going to drown in her mind in the next week, because there is a spell on you. So when she put this spell on you last year, she says, I know why. My other sister had to tell me. So some of you guys have got multiple sisters. Some of you guys, it's a sister's sister. Like, you know, there's another family relative that has maybe a dad or a mum that doesn't have the same, you know, children as, you know, you and another sibling or whatever. It says you all seem to be half sisters or half brothers, some of you. And some of you guys are full siblings, full blooded siblings, okay? So it says anytime you realize you want to have problems with your full blooded siblings, they're the ones that are going to punish you more than the half-blooded siblings. Right now, the half-blooded siblings doesn't want to pay attention to everything that's going on in your family. Half-blood is not really going to give you good news at times because they don't like you. But half-blood is also not paying attention to everything that you got going on because they got other things going on with their family members. But it says right now, you may not see it, but your family member is trying to put a very bad oba I think it's trying to say obia, but this person trying to stop it. It says they want to know they don't do it or they do it because they want to put this Jamaican witchcraft on you. Hence why it says you could live in a Caribbean country, or maybe you just from a Caribbean country. For some of you guys, your parents are from Caribbean countries, maybe even from an African country, and they use the word, you know, obia, whatever. However, it says they know that they don't want to do this directly if it's going to harm you, but they have no choice if you're asking for a problem to be resolved, or maybe even your child is asking for a problem to be resolved, because this aunt says she doesn't like the way this niece is suffering. This suffering niece is there, and she says she feels it all the time. Every time she tries to look at her, for whatever reason she's doing it, she says, I look at you all the time, but I'm not going to tell you that. And it says anytime this woman wanted to look into this woman, it was for goals of inheritance by her to her, like the child towards the aunt. But it says even when you don't want to look, you still have to see me, because this woman's putting witchcraft on her to look at her about things that she owns. And it says it's all because of you, because you stole from them or you wanted more than you should have got. And it also says the planets are cursing these people. Why they would even want to play a role to like tease and torment your children or your family members in relation to what they have, because they feel like you try to destroy everything that was good for this child of yours. And she doesn't play a role in the way you do. Like, she doesn't look for people in the head the way you do and challenge them and support the mindset to be picked on, or even support the mind to be looked at like, yeah, it's nasty, it's evil. She looks elsewhere. She looks at other things in her life. She's playing a role today to see these things. She absolutely wants to pass her exam. She wants to see good news for herself, her wealth, her money, her life. But she says, I'm always targeted for bad news and I don't know why. Like, I can't prosper, like something's holding me back or stopping it. It says, do you know that you never could do this because this evil Elaine, it says her name could be Eloise, Elaine, or some type of E, is doing witchcraft on you. Her name is Elaine right now, but she's not Elaine. Okay, she keeps pretending to be an Elaine or a Eloise. Okay, it says her name could be Ellarine, Eluse, or Ellis. It says whatever her name is, right? She's doing some type of obeah witchcraft on you. And she's been doing this for 10 years, maybe even more. But 10 years, she says, I know you've been going through things with your children. You went down and under with one of them. It says they got hurt. It says she knows nothing about you more than that, though. But she realized you could have been arrested or you was harmed with social services or with people. She also realized you can't prosper with the wealth that you have because you don't have any. She also says that you've got borrowed time in your mind to think about what you want to do because you can't prosper with help of your mind with things you've got going on. And she also realized you do home learning or homeschooling, or a child around you does this, like she does children's education, maybe with her children, or you do it with your children, or someone around you does some type of home education. This woman says she don't know what it is with you, but she's going to punish you, and she likes punishing you as well. But it says the witchcraft is backfiring on her on Wednesday. You know why? Because there's another woman named Trudy or Judy or Janet for some of you guys. It says some of you guys may have other names, but it may not relate, or it could, because this is very, very deep and it's very personal for some of you as well. You may know the person or you may not know them, but you might know them through the grapevine, or someone will have to tell you about them if it resonates in some way. If it doesn't, you might miss the mark, okay? But if it's there, it's there. So anyway, it says this woman's been putting witchcraft on you for years. But it says the white woman around her, or mixed race woman, or some type of woman that has like element of light skin, okay, she's been doing witchcraft on this woman to stop being a narcissistic woman. Like, she's been punishing her with her own witchcraft because she realized she put spells on her too. She says, I know evil Elaine, Ellarine, or evil witnesses of this person do witchcraft on me. I've seen this and I don't like it, and I wonder why she harmed her children in her head, because she never had a kid, she never wanted kids, but she never liked anyone either. And it says the problem with this woman is she doesn't like kids based on the fact that she smelt time in her mind with her child that she had when she was younger. And it says she smelt the pussy, excuse my language, she smelt the vagina of a little kid around her. She placed her nose around the situation and she smelt it when she was sleeping, or maybe even when she was bathing or doing something, like when she was really tiny. And it says this woman says, I don't like the way this woman smells. I don't like the way this woman looks. I don't like the way she's acting as a baby even. Like, she doesn't look like she could be a child of God. She doesn't look like a good woman, or she could be a good woman from little tiny baby. Like a little innocent weeny baby, like someone that's just born, come out the womb. They may have even grown a couple of months old. Like, she could be even a year old, but it says this woman was a couple months old when I touched her mind about something I did to her. I played in her pussy with my nose. I smelt it a couple of times and I wondered why she smells like that, why she looked in her head like she's innocent. And it says, do you know this woman was placing spells on your child from when she was in a womb? Like, she was doing something so bad to her, like when you was pregnant with her, okay? And she also says she doesn't know why you chose her as a godparent either, because she never likes children. She doesn't like children at all. But she realized she does not like people playing in her mind about things. She doesn't even want to know that she has good news with you overall. But it says, do you know you've been looking for the wrong one to play a role in this child's life forever? Or maybe even when I was younger and I used to take the child out once in a while, buy her stuff, comb her mind around my mind, because I ain't got no hair, but I would have played in her hair, but I just didn't bother. And it says every time she looked at her, she got jealous and envious of this little kid. It says, even because my mind said to me, I know she'll be better looking than me. She'll also have good news with her love life. She may even not have bad news at all, but she'll have better news than I will. And it says, you know, this woman's wicked, spirited, negative and evil, to the point she had to go and put spells on her when she was a little kid. Even when she laughed at her for having stretch marks, she says, I'm going to put spells on you because you don't behave yourself. She's been cursing her, casting spells on her and putting witchcraft on her for 8 years, more than she should have. 19 years. She says, do you know I've been doing this for 19 years, maybe even longer than that. But I realized it came to me one day when she was a teenager, and she came to me about some shoes that she needed, and she wanted some nice little shoes that she went out in, and never came back to my mind about whether the shoes was good or, whatever it was. I said, I know you don't like them shoes, or you do like them, you're going to wear them, but it's going to harm your feet. She says, I always remember them shoes because I like them, and I could never understand why you wanted them for school. But I realized you like cute things, or you like cuddly things, like really cute, gushy things. And it says she always used to take this girl out and play in her mind about things she wants, maybe even bought her many, many things that she liked, but she never liked her at all. She always played in her head too many times, like, I like you, but I don't like you. 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 And she says, I don't like you, little girl. But you're going to laugh at why I don't like you, because my parents taught me not to like you. I realized that when my dad said to me, your fishy fanny would not last long in someone's head, because I was played inside my mind with my father. She says she doesn't know why her dad used to play in her mind about things of her personal business, her hygiene, or things that she used to go through when she was a kid. But it says he always did this, and he always punished her mind about things, and never wanted her to solve her problems with sex, love, marriage, or anything. He never loved her, and he always realized that she'd be good at work or things that she would do in her mind, but never good to her directly to have a lover or a boyfriend. Always said to her that she wouldn't be good enough in her mind about things, but he played in it like it wasn't going to be known to her that she should cry or be upset. It's more so like little indirect jabs or direct jabs, but in a way where she didn't notice it was going to hurt her. So when these things were playing out now, she didn't understand why these things was coming about to harm her so much, because she didn't like it at all. But I said, you know what? If you know who you are as a person, whether your name begins with a C, a J, a Z, a E, or another woman's name, a M or a R or a, and it says there's another woman that's trying to come into the situation, but we'll talk about that in another reading. And it says not now, not now, not now, because there's something about that needs to come out or not. And it doesn't say this woman did anything to this person, so we can't say, oh, it happened, if you know what I mean. For some of you guys that are itching in your mind for answers about something, it says the answer is no. Put it that way. Okay, you're looking for the wrong information right now, because it's not going to come out, or the situation is untold, or for some of you guys it's a straight up no, it did not happen at all. Okay, but it says right now, this minute, you may feel like your sibling is punishing your daughter or a family member around you. It could be a witchcraft omen that's coming onto you and a family member. Maybe a sibling, a cousin, a friend, a niece, like some type of doctor might come into the situation as well, because some of you guys may need to go to the doctors, or you feel sick or woozy. It says pay attention right now. You've got spells on you with a man that's doing the witchcraft on you now. He wants to harm you. You may feel like you need to go and seek help from the ambulance. But it says not really helping you to win over a situation. It says word of advice: try to warn yourself that you've got bad news with your family members and stop picking on the situation. It says you need help, but you may go and get this help right now, or you don't want to know that you're getting the help. So you might have to move on from the situation, or go and seek help from the doctors or an ambulance. But you guys might feel sick right now from something that you're eating, or maybe even telling yourself something's going on with you. It's the person's witchcraft for some of you. Some of you are getting that right now, and it's harming you. Like you feel sick, nausea. You may even feel headaches. Some of you guys may even need to turn around 20 times in your room, or even, jump, or even feel like this stuff is not working, or it's getting worse, because he's giving you spells to use. For some of you guys, you got to twist and turn, jump, bend down, pick up things from the floor for some reason. But it also says, do you know there's mental health problems today? Because people keep playing in your mind, and they keep playing in your mind to bring out negative news on you, and you didn't know that, Aquarius. Someone here wants you to know that, though, that they keep playing in your mind for negative news. Like they want you to know that this negative news is coming. And it says only your grandchild or a friend or a family member says you're going to get burned one day. You go and lay down and catch fleas, you're going to burn one day. And it says this person knows it's time for it to happen because they can feel your energy. They also know what you look like on a daily basis, and you don't look good. And some of you got to go to the doctors or the hospital right now, or you've got to go there with a friend or family member in the next week or two, or maybe later on today, tomorrow, or another day. Or you might just firm it and say, I'm not going, because you know what it is. Some of you guys are smoking weed and taking drugs. Some of you guys know that it's your food that you're cooking and you don't like it, or someone else's food. Some of you guys, you just know what it is overall and you just don't want to see the doctor. Plenty of times it could be even sex. For some of you guys that are going through HIV, maybe even AIDS, because some of you guys might not have that problem. It could even be lupus for some of you guys. Some of you guys are warned that you're having a stroke. Some of you guys are warned that you're having diarrhea, stomach cramps, bellyache, keeping your mind on someone. It says there's a cane or a virgin that doesn't know which way to go with his mind right now. He would like to have warnings that you're having sex in that way, but it says only your grandchild understands this. Also, you don't know why this friend is coming around and beating you to the punch. He says he doesn't care about the situation with you and a friend or a family member. He calls you nan or grandmother, or maybe even an aunt, like, you know, an aunt, like he might say auntie in some way. And then there's things that you don't like as well with your your family. It says your family, but your private area too. For some of you guys, you got private area issues because you might be going through phases where you need to bathe more often, or maybe you've got like a hygiene smell like BV, or things that you're trying to solve on your own as a woman. But it says some of you guys are dealing with a man that could be doing stuff to you, and he's making it down there to be more smelly, like there's odors of his that are rubbing off on yours, or because of his energy mixing with yours, it's not making it smell so good down there. And other things could be happening as well with your mind. It says you know that people are going through hell right now trying to pay attention to the things that they've got going on with you. But they don't want to see you in a bad way, Aquarius. Some of them, not all of them. But it says not really at this time the way you think. Because even you would rather the problem go back to the person and not you. But it says it's not going to go to them directly. However, it says it's your turn. And it says this is why it's your turn. Because the man says, I'm setting this sword on you. I've got these stones, I've got these sticks, and I've got these runes where I can place a hold on you and harm you. And he says he doesn't know why he's even troubling your child. He's going to trouble you instead, but he realized he's got to do this ongoing. And when he realized he's doing this, he doesn't even care. He wants to know that he pays attention to your rent money, because that's going to warn evil-spirited man that he looks after in your home to leave if it doesn't get paid, because he's taking your mind for a ride. He says, I know that you've been witnessing things in your brain, like you can't pay your rent on time, or you can't pay something on time, and it's leaving you burdensome in your brain. And it says it's not you, it's your mind about your children. But it says they're doing fine, so why do you keep punishing their mind with his mind? Because they're not doing so well, are they? That's what you want to hear. It's not what's happening. And it says anytime you see a problem with that, your rent is going to come and it's going to tell you that you got bad news in 2 weeks' time. But it says, do you know that you've been wishing of war with you and Pisces? It says Pisces has got this same problem where they're having bad news with their rent or rent arrears, or maybe even being evicted through time of the mind because they've been punished, or they're looking too closely into the residency that they're in, or maybe even staring too closely at the people that are landlords, like watching their personal business or whatever it is that they're doing. Now it says you lot are having problems in that way too, but you're also having problems in other ways where you're looking at things too deeply, like you're wishing for bad war to come on someone with their love life, their money, or things that there could be to punish them. Now it says not really easy to say anything else, but you've got to wonder, do you like your friends, your family members, or people that have tried to warn you that you've got karma? Because you need to go and read your cards, or you just need to go and read a book, or you need to read into something. Maybe even open up your eyes, become woke, but you're sleeping all this time, negatively sleeping on something that you should be woke about or looking into. It says you're never going to see this thing, and you're never going to see it like plant its way in the mind to say it's got good or bad news. It says you have to witness something today. tidy your head around the situation. Do you like a family member knowing that they could be out in the cold or not have anywhere to eat or live or whatever? Says you would love that. But the truth is, you want to know that you could have a child go back home to their house. They're not speaking to this child that you want to send back to their house. So if they was to move, would you be able to know where they are and cast your spells directly to that person's home? It says you'd never be able to do that. And it says anytime this man says he's looking at that and he's wondering, well, why would you want that to happen? Because now I wouldn't be able to target this woman, so now I've got to target you because you're messing with my spells. He says he knows now not to trust you because you keep doing things in your head to pay attention to his head, but then you turn around and you riddle it with your own mindset. So it could be like you're a liar or you're not being honest with him. So he says, no, I'm trying to challenge her head too. I don't know if she will see me, but I'm challenging her head right now. It says, don't channel her head. Go back to the person that you've been channeling. And this is coming through the mindset of a woman back in the Isles of Wight, Gambia, wherever it is, Indonesia, Ghana, America, Scotland, Wales, England, wherever it is, all right? So some of you guys are doing Santeria in Mexico, okay? And it says not all the time you want to see things in your brain. So you want to pass your brain onto the cares and the worries of the world, but you can't do that because you're tired. So this man is starting to do his witchcraft on you today, and he will be doing it all day today until he starts troubling your mind again about your children. But it says he needs to stop doing it to your child because she's tired, she's problematic as well to him, she doesn't like it. And he says he realized he's doing it to the wrong one, he should be doing it to you. However, he's not going to stop doing it to her directly, but he will in a week because it makes sense to him why, after you've heard the reason why, and it will happen to you again and again and again once you realize why. This is going to happen in a week. So stay tuned for this information because it's going to come up in about 2 days' time as well. So if you're interested, we could tell you later on in a week's time, Aquarius, okay? So we're going to leave it right now and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.